Well, our applicant is not here yet. If you would want to wait a few minutes, perhaps.
Happy to do that.
Is caller one the applicant, Mr. IPOC? I think that's
Don't know what color I am, but I'm here.
Oh, okay. Well, we can start then.
Okay. Good evening. On behalf of the City of Independence, welcome to this virtual Planning Commission meeting for November 17th. We call the meeting to order. For the convenience of those participating in tonight's meeting, I would like to remind all in attendance, both commissioners and the public, to please mute yourself when you are not speaking to prevent distraction and unwanted disruption. Staff will be enforcing this and monitoring those in attendance for questions during public hearings. During the public hearing portion of the meeting, staff will call on those who have requested to speak in the order they signed up. Following that, anyone else who wishes to speak will be recognized. For those who wish to speak tonight, please remember to address all comments and questions to the chair and keep your comments brief and on point. If you agree with the previous comment, simply indicate your agreement. To expedite tonight's meeting, I will ask all of those who wish to testify or believe they might be sworn in. So virtually raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the whole truth before this commission? If so, please answer, I do.
I do.
Thank you. So the first item on our agenda is case number 20-125-01, which is the rezoning preliminary development plan for 4580 South Bass Pro Drive. And that one, staff has asked to continue till December 8th of 2020. So if I could get a motion for that.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that case 20-125-01, rezoning preliminary development plan of 4580 South Bass Pro Drive, be continued to the December 8th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting.
Thank you.
I second.
Thank you, Virginia. Case 20-125-01 has been continued to December 8th.
Well,
And staff, I forgot to ask you to do roll call.
okay, I can, we can do roll call at the same time as I take the vote on that case we just had.
Perfect. I like it.
Okay, Commissioner Dreer? Commissioner Ferguson?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell? Michelle, I'm sorry. No. Commissioner Preston?
Yes.
Commissioner Weir?
Yes.
Commissioner Wiley?
Yes.
And Chairman McLean.
Yes. Okay, the case has been continued. Next case is for the public hearing is case 20-100-12, rezoning of 1201 South Osage Avenue. Staff, will you present a report, please?
Okay, Steve IPOC with BBI Holdings seeks to rezone this property at 1201 South Osage Street from I-1 industrial to R12, which is two-family residential. The site is on the east end of the east side of the northern end of South Osage, next to West 23rd Street. As you can see from the vicinity map where it is, it's that L-shaped property there. This is the zoning for the area. Properties along 23rd Street are zoned either C2 to the east of this site and I-1 to the west of the site. As you can see, only the northern portion of this L-shaped property is zoned I-1. The rest is zoned R12. Properties to the south are zoned either R6, single family, or R12, which is two family. The comprehensive plan does envision this site for commercial uses. This is the aerial photograph of the site. The property abuts 23rd Street on the north, as you can see from the aerial there, with the commercial uses on the east, well, more or less on the across the street to the north, and then further to the east on 23rd Street. And then residential property to the south, southwest, and southeast. Okay, this is the, here we're looking east from the street, which is, South Osage, at the western elevation of the building. Here we're in the northeast corner of the lot, at the northwest corner of the lot, looking at the north and west sides of the building, the north being the side that faces 23rd Street. As you can see, it does have kind of a commercial, industrial look about it. And here we're on the northeast corner of the lot, looking at the east side of the building and then the north side of the building. And the parking lot that was at one time used for commercial purposes is in the foreground there. This is the south elevation of the building, which will provide access to the two apartments. With the one door here that you see, and then the other one further down on the sidewalk in the distance. Okay, this slide shows the elevation difference between the building and the adjoining West 23rd Street. Osage doesn't have a circular turnaround, but the street just ends with a steel barrier, as you can see. The elevation difference between these, the parking lot, drive areas of the building here and 23rd Street are 15, 20 feet, something like that. Okay, this is the property to the east, still in residential use. And then these two pictures are single-family homes that are directly south of the building on the east side of Osage. And this is southwest of the site on the west side of the street. And this is a duplex. And then directly west of the site on the west side of Osage is a vacant lot that's probably taken care of by the adjoining neighbor. Staff does recommend approval of this rezoning application.
Thank you. Okay, we'll have the applicant unmute and give your name and address if there's anything else you'd like to add to the report that the city gave.
My name is Steve Eibach. And what did you say you needed else? I'm sorry.
Your address.
My address is 2400 Indiana Avenue, Kansas City, Missouri, 64127. And I don't believe I have anything else to add. I think he said it all.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions of the applicant or the city?
My question, I think I will pose it to staff because I'm certain, given that we are changing the zoning from an industrial to residential, and obviously therefore people will be inhabiting this parcel, did the review of history disclose any industrial use that might pose a hazard to the soil, to the potential new tenants that would reside there?
Well, I'm not sure. We ran the business licenses for this location and didn't have anything in the last 2 or 3 years, which is generally how long they have the business license record for. I heard from somebody that I'm not sure it's hearsay, but it was used like for a plumbing contractor at one time, something like that. I don't know. I'm not aware of any businesses that operated there that would have any sort of hazardous materials, have had any hazardous materials.
Therefore, I will pose that same question to the applicant. In his consideration, in his acquisition of this property, did you, and recognizing that the intent was to convert it into residential use, did you query any usage of prior owners that may have posed a threat or potential hazardous material that would be adverse to the tenants?
No, the only part that will be rented is the second floor, the upper floor, and it was just offices.
Repeat that.
I said the part that will be rented to tenants is the second floor, and it was only offices.
Okay. Now, let me go back to my question. When you acquired this property, did you query the owner or look at the history of this property and considering any potential adverse use that would be a problem for tenants?
And I said no. The only use I found for the building was the second floor was offices.
Madam Chairman, this is Joe. I have a question
Yeah.
to the recipient there. Is the building still tagged as dangerous?
It is.
And you purchased it as a dangerous building?
I did.
And when does the work will proceed after this zoning change?
That's correct.
My understanding there was a fire there before, is that correct?
A small fire, yes.
Okay. Let's see, is there anybody who would like to speak in favor of this on the call? City?
There's no one else on the, it appears that there's no one else here to speak for or against this application.
Okay. So you're saying there's also no one here who would like to speak against this change?
Either for or against.
Okay. Okay, so I will close the public hearing. And commissioners, do you have any more questions of staff or any more questions of the applicant before we vote or a motion?
Yeah, I do have a question.
I still have a question. The
Hey, Bill,
character,
Billy,
Bill,
go ahead, I yield.
talk real quick.
thank you. The siding that's on this building, is that part of the dangerous building problem? Is that asbestos?
I don't know if that is the, if you've been out there to the site, there's those two holes on the side of the building there that I don't know if the firemen actually punched a hole in the wall to put out the fire or not. There's also a small hole in the roof of this building, and that was caused by the fire, I believe. I don't know about this being asbestos material on that. I don't know.
Okay.
Mr. Ipock, do you want to respond to that, to Commissioner Ferguson's question?
Yes. I mean, no, the dangerous building problem is just from the fire. It started in the basement and it burnt like 4 floor joists and some plywood there. So that has to be remedied. The firemen knocked out windows, knocked holes in the roof. The windows have already been fixed. There is still some boards on them, but the glass has been replaced. And we're just waiting to proceed with, approval to get it rezoned.
Perfect. Commissioner Preston?
Madam Chair, I think I'm satisfied with that explanation, and given that there will be an inspection of it prior to any tenant occupation, I'm satisfied with the applicant's presentation and staff's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion or any other discussion?
And Madam Chair,
Yes?
in as much as I'm satisfied and no one else is going to pose a question, I'll move that in the matter of case number 20-100-12, the rezoning at 1201 South Osage Street, and rezoning from I-1 industrial to R-12, two-family residential, be approved.
I second.
Thank you. Okay, city will take the roll.
Commissioner Ferguson,
Yes.
Commissioner Preston,
Yes.
Commissioner Weir,
Yes.
Commissioner Wiley,
Yes.
and Chairman McLean.
Yes. Motion, or case number 20-100-12, rezoning of 1201 South Osage Avenue has passed. Congratulations, and thank you for improving yet another piece of a neighborhood.
Yes, in this case, will go on to the city council and will be on their first reading for December 7th.
Okay. Okay, so we have left approval of the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to read them, and does anybody have any changes?
I have no changes.
Me either.
Okay, if I can get everybody to unmute, all those that approve of the minutes say aye, or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Minutes are approved. Anyone from the city have anything for us?
No, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Commissioners, do you have anything you want to say or share?
We just have one meeting this month and one meeting next month.
I'd like
Yes.
to commend Cindy on her window decorations. They are fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
Thank
But
you.
I do have a question. Is there not going to be a mayor's Christmas tree?
We're not aware of that. Or that's a better question for the council's office, for the city council office.
Okay, thank you.
Well, we lit the square for it, so. Well, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, however you're going to be enjoying it, whether it's virtual or in small groups. It'll be a different one, but happy Thanksgiving anyway. We got to celebrate it one way or the other, just like
Yes.
the holiday. They're coming. Pandemic or not. So that's all I have. The meeting is adjourned at 6:18.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.